Hi, I'm Ronnie from Ronnie's Garage in Southern California. We're having our monthly tech meet, and today we're going to be talking about the heater system on a Silver Cloud 3 and the other clouds also. Now there's one more problem area on the heater systems on the Cloud 2s and 1s, and that is the switches. You've got an upper and a lower switch. You can see that from the other side. Let me open the other door. So what we have here, if you guys want to come around here, you can see you've got your lower switch here, which controls the air through the lower system, which includes the blower under the car, right? And the water tap for the lower system, which is, I think it's the right one on this. So these will freeze. They will get stuck from never being used. The lower one, it goes, you got a hot and a cold. Cold would be fresh air. So you go to the left, it has 2 degrees there. Changes the fan speeds. You hear the fan? You can hear the fan down there. The duct should be open right there. You see that grill? That's where it takes air in for the lower system. So you got 2 fan speeds here in the cool position. So on the right, you got, not only do you have fan speeds, and over here it should be high. Yeah, it's high. Hear it? But it'll change how much the water tap opens. Okay, now the upper is different. It's got not only the cool and the hot, but to operate the fan on the upper system, you pull the switch out. And you can see that the ammeter moves when it turns that blower out under that right fender on, and all the way out is high speed. So if your switch doesn't turn, there's a problem right there. These switches are not really complex, but to fix them when they're frozen is kind of difficult. It's kind of because if you try to take it apart, there's a million little pieces.
Are the 1, 2, and 3 clouds all have that same?
Well, the Cloud 1s are different. They're vacuum switches. They're similar. They still have the upper and lower. They look very much the same. Mm-hmm. Their function's a little bit different. But the 2 and 3 are just they're the same as this.
So, Ronnie, the lower one you don't have to pull, and the upper one you do have to pull?
Correct.
Different.
So the upper, you pull it to turn the fan on. The positions are just the flat positions, a water tap. The lower, it's integrated to turn the fan on when you turn it. And one of these was frozen, if I remember correctly, right? And I fixed it for you. So let's go look out under the hood for the location. Since the flaps for the heater system are under this fender, if you look in here, you can see there's 2 motors here. These are those motors I showed you. See them? That's for that upper and lower flap. You guys can come in here and look if you want. That's fine. Don't be afraid. See?
Oh, yes.
See the wires connected to them?
Mm-hmm.
See, they're right here.
Got it.
Okay. Now the water valve, this is good. There's a problem. The water valve, I showed you that. What's this? You see that? See that? That's a hose bib. There should be a hose connected to that. So that could be one of the reasons the heater doesn't work on this car, is because the hoses are gone. So, right. It could be, right? Here's, so it's got no water connection. So under here you'll see 3 hoses. This is a Cloud 3. Remember, it has 2 heater cores. You'll see the 3 hoses. They go out in the engine compartment. I think this is the lower heater core valve. The other one is on this side. This is the upper heater core valve. There's another one. And what do you know? This one's disconnected too. Okay, and see that this is that little electric motor I told you about. It's missing its rubber boot. Chances are either these were stuck open and they could not turn the heat off, or they're leaking. So somebody has bypassed them. Okay, so when I see a part of the coolant part of the system bypassed. It's usually a leak, right? Or, I don't know. Why else would you bypass it, right? So the valves can leak and the heater cores can leak. It's another potential place for leakage. So we're not going to fix your car today. Because this right here is like a smoking gun. Okay, there's definitely something wrong. And that's when I get out the shotgun and I say, okay, we're going to do everything aside from pulling the cores out. The only way I'd pull a core out is if it's leaking. And to be honest with you, I have snuck them out without pulling the fender before. But that's problematic, and I'll show you why.
And we also had an estimate.
Imagine this mounted in the car. Okay, this is in the car. Now you saw the fender there. The fender is like right here, right? And from under the car, you can't get to it from the top. And from under the car, these screws right here have to come out to get these pieces off to access this. I have snuck them out. I have got the screws out, but you know, usually I end up chiseling these up here. And guess what? They don't get reinstalled. So the proper way is to pull the door of the fender. Well, pull the fender, get access to this. It's bolted to the car. It's pretty basic. You can see where it's bolted to the car with those 6 bolts right here, these studs. Okay, and then take it out, take it apart, replace the core. The Cloud 1s are much easier, and the coach belts, because the heater cores are small. This gets out, there's plenty of room in the fender. You can pull that thing out and change them pretty easy. So let's see if your other flaps are working on this. We know that the water taps aren't. So what should happen, I'd like somebody to watch these things out here. I'm going to operate the switches from hot to cold or versa versa. I'm just going to go to the extremes. They should move. And you can usually hear when the motors start to go bad. Are they moving? Nothing, right? Let's go to heat now. Full heat now. Anything moving?
Not that I can see.
Yeah, so, okay, so there we go. Right away, we don't have those actuators working either.
I was hearing something.
Well, you heard the blower.
Well, I thought I heard it from in here, a little whirring.
Well, maybe one of the other ones is working, even though it's disconnected. It
Oh.
might be leaking. Because those water valves have little diaphragms in them, rubber diaphragms, and they will leak. So this is a big problem in this car. The one good thing is both blowers are working. That's a good thing. So if you have to replace your heater cores, replace these actuators, replace the valves, replace the actuators, replace the blowers, it's going to be real expensive. Oh, it's going to be real expensive. Well, these motors I think are about $300-400 each. The heater cores probably about the same. Blowers probably about the same. The water valves are a couple $100 plus the labor.
The part's easy
And
to
you're
find.
probably looking at, to do all of that, 40, that's like a full week's job.
Whoa.